The New York Knicks made a bold move last offseason, acquiring all-star big man Karl-Anthony Towns from the Minnesota Timberwolves in a blockbuster trade that sent Julius Randle, Donte DiVincenzo, and future draft picks to Minnesota. The idea was simple: pair Towns with Jalen Brunson and a rising core to push for an NBA title. On paper, the fit seemed promising. But after a season filled with under-the-surface tension and a disappointing Eastern Conference Finals loss to the Indiana Pacers, it's clear the marriage between Towns and the Knicks has hit early turbulence. Towns' offensive talent has never been in question. He remains one of the most skilled scoring big men in the game, capable of stretching the floor with elite three-point shooting and dominating mismatches in the post. This past season, he averaged 24.4 points per game while shooting a stellar 42% from beyond the arc. However, his defensive liabilities have drawn significant criticism, both publicly and privately. According to a report by The Athletic, multiple players and coaches were frustrated with Towns' defensive approach throughout the season. Too often, he was seen missing assignments, executing incorrect coverages, or failing to communicate his actions to teammates, undermining the team's cohesion and defensive identity. Despite head coach Tom Thibodeau's familiarity with Towns from their shared time in Minnesota, the same concerns that plagued the center there have followed him to New York. Teammates reportedly began to question whether Towns truly understood the importance of his defensive responsibilities or simply lacked the discipline to carry them out consistently. The Knicks' postseason run brought Towns' weaknesses into sharper focus. New York fell to the Indiana Pacers in 6 games in the Eastern Conference Finals, with Towns struggling mightily in several contests. He posted game plus-minus ratings of -20 and -17 in 2 of the Knicks' 4 losses, numbers that, while not perfect metrics on their own, align with the visual evidence of repeated breakdowns in defensive coverage. The Pacers exploited these vulnerabilities, often targeting Towns in pick-and-roll actions or drawing him out of position. His lack of lateral quickness and poor communication left the Knicks' backline exposed, forcing guards and wings to compensate, something that reportedly wore on the team over time. While Towns continued to produce offensively, his inability to make a positive impact on the other end of the floor diminished his overall value. His presence didn't elevate the Knicks when it mattered most, and by the end of the series, frustration in the locker room had clearly mounted. The friction wasn't limited to the floor. Though players refrained from directly naming Towns in interviews, several made vague references throughout the season to communication issues and lack of accountability, comments now widely believed to be aimed at him. Behind the scenes, the coaching staff reportedly echoed similar sentiments. With a massive financial commitment tied to Towns, he's set to earn $53 million next season, $57 million the year after, and holds a $61 million player option for 2027-28. The Knicks face a dilemma. Towns is immensely talented but also polarizing, and his contract makes him difficult to move without considerable salary matching. Nevertheless, NBA insiders, including Kevin O'Connor, have speculated that the Knicks may already be exploring trade options. Moving Towns wouldn't be easy, but the tension surrounding his presence and the team's near-title aspirations could force the front office into making a tough call. Karl-Anthony Towns arrived in New York with high expectations and a belief that he could be the missing piece to a contending puzzle. Instead, his first season has been defined by strong individual numbers, disappointing team results, and growing discontent among teammates and coaches. As the Knicks look to build off a 51-win season and a trip to the conference finals, Towns' future with the team is now anything but secure. Whether the Knicks continue to invest in him or pivot in another direction, one thing is clear: if Towns doesn't address his defensive shortcomings and earn the trust of those around him, his time in New York could be short-lived.